My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. Next up at UFC Vegas 25, we have Ion Cutelaba versus Dustin Jacoby, in what should be another interesting fight. A lot of these main card fights are pretty close, pretty interesting matchups. Jacob, a little bird, was saying that they thought this would be your lock of the week. Is Dustin Jacoby your lock of the week?
Listen, Ion Cutelaba should be in everyone's lineup. I think he should be in everyone's lineup. The guy's got 13 first-round finishes. He's a maniac. At $8,200 for that chance of a first-round finish, I think that's incredible value. But he has burned me way too many times in DraftKings that I cannot trust this guy anymore. I had him in his last two fights against Ankalaev. Obviously, that first one was a weird because he faked, being hurt, and the ref stopped it. So then I thought, oh, he's going to come out the next time and really be motivated and win that fight. Burn me again. So I think everyone should have Ion in their lineup. Jacoby is taking this on short notice. He does train with Anthony Smith, so he has some good training partners. But he mentioned, he in an interview, leading up to this fight, he said, I wish I could have had a couple more weeks. He said, I'm ready. I took the fight because I'm ready and I like the matchup, but he did admit, I wish I had a couple more weeks of training to prepare. So I think Cutelaba, wins this fight as much. It's such a tough because he burned me so many times that I want to put him in my lineup because of all those first round finishes. And we've seen gas tank issues with him, right? So it's going to be a first round finish or he's probably going to get worn down and lose. And Dustin Jacoby actually mentioned he was planning. He said, I think Ion is going to shoot some takedowns. I don't think Ion Cutelaba is going to shoot takedowns. He's going to throw hammers from the start and try to get the first round finish. I think he should be in everyone's lineup, but he's not in mine because he beat me too many times against Ankalaev, and I lost too many DraftKings because of him. So I don't trust him anymore. And I'm taking the less in this because I think it's an early stoppage either way. But I think Cutelaba wins this fight. So Jacoby definitely is not my lock of the week. I'll tell you that.
That's so interesting. A couple of things. One, less is interesting because I'm going to go more and more. I think they're busy. I think that they're both primary strikers. So I don't,
13 first round finishes, man. And the guy, you've seen his gassing. I mean, you saw that against Glover as well. He was lighting up Glover and just gas. I mean, that's just what he does. I mean, he's a first round guy.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. 34. I don't know. You're right. It is a tricky line, but I actually have Dustin Jacoby in my lineup. And you're right. If for $200 more, there's more of a chance of a first round knockout. I just don't think it's going to happen. He's coming off Cutelaba's coming off a bad knockout loss, and he's got a ton of power. But he's more of a true boxer. Really just uses his hands. Where Dustin Jacoby is a kickboxer. He will light up Cutelaba's legs, slow him down, eliminate that knockout threat in the first round by lighting up those legs. And I think Jacoby's going to get it done. He's more technical. He's more dynamic. Ion's got more power, or Jan's got more power. But I'm going with Dustin Jacoby to win this fight. I have him in my lineup. It's not crazy to go Ion for another $200, but I just think Justin Jacoby's going to get it done. And Ion's, he's had a rough go at it. I don't know. I just don't see it happening for him.
That short notice doesn't worry you at all?
Not really. It worries me against certain guys. I'm not worried about it here. Dustin just strikes me as a person who's always training, sort of always prepared. And his fight style, he's not a wild grappler where you need every ounce of energy to try to get a takedown. He's a good technical kickboxer. And I'm sure he's in plenty of shape to be a good technical kickboxer. Now, Dan, what are your thoughts?
I agree with some of the things you said, but I disagree, Angelo, just on, I mean, I don't know if it's a disagree, but I just think stylistically, this is going to be a tough matchup for Jacoby. I mean, I watched tape on him. You know, he's obviously a very good kickboxer. He took off almost 5 years to focus on kickboxing and boxing. He won a glory title, fought a bunch of guys in one night. So he's a good kickboxer for sure. He's now training at Factory X, I believe, and he's looked really good his last 4 fights over the past couple of years. And he's only 33 years old. I think you said earlier his first MMA fight was at a super young age. So he's not old for all the experience he's had. And for taking off 5 years and still coming back and being only 33 is pretty crazy. But his last fight, he had a great win against a heavy, came in overweight, Maxim Grishin, who was previously a heavyweight. He struggled that first round, though. He got dropped twice. He's got a good kickboxing style, like we've all agreed on, and solid skills. But I just worry he's made kind of kickboxing habits that you make when you have the big gloves on. Like, he keeps his hands low. He throws kicks, and he's just, the defense is different with those big gloves. You can shell, you can evade. It's just a different style game because you're not getting hit with small gloves and you have big gloves defensively to kind of weather punches coming in. I think that doesn't fare well for him in this matchup against a guy in Cutelaba who's going to come forward throwing heat. And while he's not the technical kickboxer, I think his athleticism and his striking is underrated. He's got a lot of first round finishes, like Jacob said. He's lost 3 of his last 4, but they were to Glover, who's fighting for the title, and to Ankalaev twice, who a lot of people are saying he's going to be in line for a title shot pretty soon. He's trained down here at ATT, and the scouting report I got on him is that he is very good. So those 2 losses are not, and also too, to be honest, Cutelaba looked very competitive in that fight, albeit for a short time. But, I think just Cutelaba, Ankalaev is just a bad matchup for him stylistically. Great counter striker, good ground. There's not a lot you can do against him with a guy like Cutelaba's style. So, but I will say against Jacoby, I think those shots will land. I think those big punches, I think he's going to catch him with something. I think Jacoby's going to try to play his elusive kickboxing game with his hands low, and Cutelaba is going to pressure him and land some big punches. So the other thing too, just as kind of a wild card, it was really interesting to see in his fight against Khalil Roundtree, who's also a very powerful, good striker. He had a game plan. It was very clear that he had a game plan to shoot takedowns and get it to the ground. And when he got on top, he was vicious with his ground and pound. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's also a young guy. I think he's in his mid to late 20s, 27 years old. He's got a lot of experience at a young age. So I think he's probably still improving. So I wouldn't be surprised if this fight went a couple different ways. If he landed a big shot, or if he started getting frustrated on the feet, if he went for some takedowns. So my pick is Cutelaba. I think there's a lot of upside for him on a finish. And I think he's just overall athleticism and striking is underrated. So I'm going to pick him. I do have him in my lineup for DraftKings, and significant strikes. A little tricky, but I'm going to go more here. Just kind of assuming Jacoby has enough kickboxing prowess and skills to evade some big shots early. They both rack up some points, but I think Cutelaba eventually catches him.
Yeah, I agree with the more. And you guys aren't wrong. I mean, I'm going with Dustin Jacoby because I think he's more dynamic and has more skills. And I'm hoping he'll light up Cutelaba's legs to slow him down and eliminate that power. With his legs beat up, he can't lunge in with those big punches. And I'm hoping that's what he does early. But, Cutelaba is definitely the more logical pick. I'm just taking Cutelaba's striking ability. I'm adding leg kicks, and that gets me Justin Jacoby. And I think the leg kicks will be the differentiator here.
Got to throw those leg kicks and not get hit with a big counter right hand, though. That's the big thing, right? Leg kicks are great if you can not get hit when someone's coming forward, but a guy like Cutelaba, I don't know. I used to, my favorite punch off a leg kick used to be, all right, I will sit on your leg kick and blast a right hand. Cutelaba strikes me as the sort of guy who'll do that. So if Jacoby can avoid getting hit in those exchanges, it could work, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. I'm actually looking forward to that fight quite a bit. And now I'm questioning my Jacoby pick, but I'm sticking with it. I trust it.
No, it's not a bad pick.
And I'm not going to let you bully me out of it. I'm not going to let you, Dan. You're not going to bully me out of it.
Mute him, Angelo. Mute him.
Last time we did that, your guy won in the first round. So glad to see you finally got a spine.
We just want to give a giant thank you to all of our members and to everybody who donated this week, specifically Jesse Correa, Dunchichi, Chris Jory, David Raymond, Chris Toronto, Ansi Music, and Jill Gretka. Thank you all very, very much. If anybody is interested in becoming a member, there is a join button down below. You'll get a fancy little crown in the comment section. If you're interested in sharing the wealth from all of our fantastic picks, there's a donation link in the description below. Thank you all very, very much for the support. It is much appreciated, and everything goes right back in this channel to give you the best possible production and best picks on the planet.
Definitely appreciate all you guys watching. Love interacting with you guys in the comments. So keep writing comments. We'll keep going back and forth. Jacob and I will keep arguing, or Jacob and Angelo will keep arguing. But really appreciate you guys tuning in and watching.
Get your crowns.
Before you go, check out the description below. In there, we have links to our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, and more importantly, to our DraftKings League. Check out the league, join the league, participate in the contests, and as we get going and as you start winning, we're going to start handing out gift cards and participating and doing things like that. So check those out. Every week, there are drops on every fight card. So make sure you check out this channel and our social media on Saturday before the fights start so that you have our most updated lineups and picks.